Juniors making their way out onto track. One penalty applied already in Honda Cadet. That goes to the 6 of Alex Lynn with a plus 5 second front fairing penalty for him. Unfortunately, Micro looks to be clear. Oh no, it doesn't. We'll run to that in a minute. Ben Horner, though, for Junior Max starts on pole with champion Jacob Dukes alongside Reese Owen and Melissa Adrian on the second row, with Ollie Naylor and Sam Stoner on row number 3. Then it's James Waring and Maximus Shields with Seamus Cox and Jensen Mason completing the top 10. Catherine Potter and Curtis Latimer start 11th and 12th respectively. Then it's Bartek Filipiak alongside Jaden Hewitt, Harry Hurst-Grover and Nicholas Ellis, with Joe Garraway and David Goodman, your 18 runners here in juniors. Penalties applied then in our Micro Max class to Aram Turacek, who we saw with the front fairing. Aston Brown, the championship leader, with a 5-second penalty. That drops him down to 11th place, with his championship challenger, Alex Jones, promoted into 3rd place following the disqualification due to technical compliance of Max Wheatley. Here we go then in Junior Max. We are away and racing, and all the way round the outside of Ben Horner in his first, as we've got spins in the early part of the corner. We've got one of them there. I think that could be Jensen Mason with the arm off the wheel. Probably could be potentially better served in putting the right foot on the throttle pedal, but we'll see when he comes round that it's definitely him. As Reese Owen defends off Ollie Naylor, and that could allow Maximus Shields to get alongside, and then Shields will now have to back out of that corner. So Duke's made the run all the way around the outside of Ben Horner. We've seen him all season racing in Mini-Max. He moves up to Junior Max then for the first time. They come over the line for the first time here then, with Dukes leading away from Horner, then Owen, but Naylor's going to get down the inside, with Max Shields getting a bit of snap oversteer as he gets into the back of Reese Owen in 5th place. Then it's Cox, Hewitt, Adrian Garraway up from the final row of the grid, although he was quickest in practice, so there's no real surprise there, the driver of the 158. It was Jensen Mason on the opening lap, and it looks like he's potentially come into the pit lane. He has. I can see him down there out of the cart, and I think what he was suggesting was that there's potentially a bent track rod on that cart, was what he was showing. That's Garraway through, driver there with the blue suit and the white and green cart, down the inside into Barney's, the driver from not too far away. There is Jensen Mason already getting ready to take his helmet off. So they make their way round Degner 1. The lead for the Dukes already 1.1 seconds. With Horner and Naylor the top 3. Then it's Shields with Cox, Garraway and Owen. And Garraway trying to find a way through there on the 79 of Seamus Cox, he's already got past Reese Owen. Then he's going to have to close in a little bit of a gap, because those in front of him, back to Maximus Shields, as a move then down the inside by Jaden Hewitt, the visiting driver from the Isle of Man, who's been to every round this year, as has Nicholas Ellis. There's Garraway then down the inside of the 79 of Seamus Cox. Then Cox has to get back in, as the tyre wall on the outside is there to define that track limit on the outside of Degner 1. See, that's the gap he's got there to Maximus Shields. So they drop down that hill. See the cart going light for Garraway there, almost sideways on the brakes into that right-hander. He's never really straightens up from the right-hander at Clinton's into the right-hander at Barney's. And Joe Garraway, the 15-year-old from Beccles in Suffolk, only lives 10 minutes or so from the track. Up into 5th place. Got a gap of 1.4 seconds to close in on Maximus Shields, who's currently on the back of Ollie Naylor. Shields in a personal battle with Nicholas Ellis, who is currently running in 11th place for the championship. That's Jaden Hewitt down the inside, getting all squirrely. Doesn't manage to find a way past Seamus Cox. Cox very aware that that move was coming down the inside. If he turned in fully, there'd have been contact between the two of them. So they moved down the inside. Was that Naylor making a way through on Ben Horner? It was, and Maximus Shields got through as well. You can see there up in the top corner of the screen. Heading now towards the 4-minute mark. finding half race distance. Then we have that one lap at the end as well. Is that a rear bumper on Ollie Naylor's car? Not sure whether it's just bouncing around on the seating or whether it's come out of the fixing completely on the 85. But if it is, that's going to necessitate a mechanical flag for Naylor. I don't think it is. It's just moving around, flexing with the chassis, running down there very, very low. So it's just having a quick look on that as we'll try and follow it, particularly from our camera down at Degner 1, down that back straight. It doesn't look like is it dragging or is it just caught up? Yeah, certainly is there for Ollie Naylor. So we may end up with a mechanical flag potentially for the 85. I'm just looking at it. It's very deceiving because on one side it's dropped, but it could be that it's fixed in the seating on the other side when it does. And we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, they've got spotters and marshals all around the track to keep an eye on that as well. So that are a lot closer than what I am in the commentary box, and the cameras as well off the back of the 85 cart. What Maximus Shields doesn't want, though, is to be too close if that bumper is, I think, detached. And you can see it there just bouncing around the 85 of Ollie Naylor in second place. Start line marshal having a good look at that one with Naylor. But if that is detached, then there will be a mechanical flag. I am sure of it. Personal best coming in from Hewitt, Cox and Stoner in 6th down to 8th respectively. They're running fairly close, although Stoner is a little bit further back. In the background, though, from Maximus Shields is Joe Garraway closing in. He's come through from the tail end of the field to close in on the back of this battle for second place. Dukes is already well down the road. Naylor goes wide. Alan Wones. 2 minutes, over start finish. Still no mechanical flag, so it could have been a bit of an illusion on that rear bumper for Ollie Naylor, but it's certainly bouncing around. See there, the driver in second place, Shields in third. Behind them, Joe Garraway. Closing in on a top 3. Oh. Shields down the inside as Ollie Naylor peels off into the pit lane. So didn't see the mechanical flag, but he's definitely aware that he's got a problem. He comes in, Shields up into second place, Garraway up into third. So we've been told by the producer that he had a bit of a tough day at Kimbolton a short while back. The car not exactly staying on 4 wheels as it is. He sends it down the inside of Shields. Shields, though, gets the cutback and holds on to second place. The charging Joe Garraway, though, this could just be a matter of time. Naylor there getting consoled down there by his dad as the camera pans round. A second place gone for Ollie Naylor. There's that rear bumper. The bumpers are actually held in. There's a rubber stopper that goes in, and then a bolt goes into that rubber stopper and expands the rubber stopper. A lot like a roll plug for all you DIY fans out there. So it goes in, it pushes it out. So it's in on a plug. So if you catch it on something, potentially the tyres on the way out of Barney's, the driver's running very, very close to them. Tyres on the inside, or even the tyres there on the outside of Degner 1. You've got that potential for pulling that rear bumper out of its seating. And as soon as it is, then the mechanical flag's coming out, because all it takes then is too much drag on the floor. The bumper comes out and we've got a piece of plastic and metal that's well over 1 metre wide sat on the racetrack there, which obviously for those watching and those out on the track is quite clearly very, very dangerous. 7 seconds remaining as Jacob Dukes makes his way up towards timing. He might just cross in enough time. He does, although the last lap board immediately comes out. So last lap on timing here then at Ellough Park. Don't know if there is a board out there. I think there could be a digi-flag. We can't see it from the comm box. And Garraway now down the inside of Maximus Shields for second place. As on that previous lap, Shields set the fastest lap of the race with a 43.2. A tenth and a half quicker than the race leader and a fraction quicker than Garraway's personal best. He was in the tow on that previous lap, but Shields in a third place. That's going to be enough. Ellis has come through, though, up into 7th, so he's made up a fair bit of time, and that's moved him up into 7th place. So some solid points as well then for Nicholas Ellis. Your race leader, though, comes through to take the victory in heat number 1 for Jacob Dukes. Then it's Garraway and Shields to complete the top 3, with Ben Horner rounding out his first junior Rotax race in a fantastic 4th in front of Jaden Hewitt, Seamus Cox and Nicholas Ellis, with Sam Stoner, Reese Owen and Melissa Adrian completing the top 10, with Latimer, Hurstgrover, Felipiak, Potter, Waring, Goodman, Naylor and Mason, the 2 drivers who ended that race in retirement here at Ellough Park.